Let's now shift our attention to Britain, that is dealing with a completely different kind of a problem with its economy. And the British Chancellor of the Exchequer, just a little while back, unveiled what has been dubbed as the Autumn Statement, and he's now announced a hike in taxes to the tune of $65 billion. And he's also announced a lot of spending cuts as well. And what is also interesting and very significant is that he has now announced in the Parliament that the British economy is in recession. So the forecasts are predicting that the United Kingdom's economy will in fact shrink by 1.4% next year. Jeremy Hunt has now officially acknowledged that the United Kingdom is in a state of recession and things will actually get worse before they can get better. Jeremy Hunt also delivered the tax rises and spending cuts statement to the tune of about £55 billion, and according to him, the plan will mean inflation and interest rates will end up significantly lower, and it will be done in a pretty balanced way. He's also added that there will be a substantial increase in the amount of tax that the common British people will have to pay. Now, Jeremy Hunt's announcement of a freeze in income tax thresholds is also spoken about. Freezing the threshold means that tax bands will stay the same even as people's pay goes up. So as wages rise, the proportion of earnings that we pay as tax will increase for people in Britain, and more people will now move into the higher tax brackets. In his statement, the Chancellor also said that the threshold for when the highest earners start paying the top rate of tax will be brought down from about £150,000 to about £125,000. The United Kingdom's Chancellor has also confirmed that the energy industry will pay an expanded windfall tax of 35%, up from 25% from the 1st of January until March 2028. He's also introduced a temporary 45% levy on electricity generators. According to Hunt, together with these taxes, the British economy is hoping to raise nearly about £14 billion next year. All right, now to help us decode this pretty complex financial statement that was presented by Jeremy Hunt in the British Parliament, we're being joined by our correspondent, Alex Izat, who's joining us from London, who's been tracking the developments very closely for us. Alex, this was something that was expected. More number of people in Britain will have to pay a higher rate of tax, and this, Jeremy Hunt hopes, will in fact help the British economy tide over the cost of living crisis. Try help us understand as to how all of this will work.
Yes, you're right. It does seem like a lot of the things that he said in the autumn statement were quite positive. There was a lot of money going to a lot of the public sector, NHS, social care, and also looking at the universal credit system and trying to weed out those who are claiming fraudulently. But the problem here is that where is that money coming from? Because there definitely needs to be filling that black hole of £55 billion, which he said he wants to try and get filled within the next 5 years. And that is going to be the people on middle and higher earnings who are going to be paying more taxes for that. So the threshold bracket now has come down. So previously it's £150,000 before you hit a higher earning threshold of tax where you'd have to pay more tax. But now that's come down to £125,140. So that could mean that if wages do go up, which people are asking for because wages haven't gone up in line with inflation for the past number of years. So if wages do go up, then of course they will then go up into the higher tax bracket and they will be paying more tax to fill these gaps and holes here. And also let's talk about the fact that we're also going to be taxing electric vehicles. Now this is a big one as well because a lot of people were pushed to get electric vehicles and now we're hearing that they are going to be taxed. We're not sure exactly how much the car tax will be on it. It could be quite small, right, but that will bring in £1 billion. So again, people who have gone out of their way to try and work towards the climate and help it are now going to be added tax on that as well.
Absolutely indeed, Alex. Now, a lot of people in Britain who are watching this, the first question that comes to the mind is how will they tide through this immediate winter? Because the choice that confronts a lot of people in Britain is between eating or heating. Has Jeremy Hunt addressed this very fundamental issue that the British people are looking at?
Well, he did mention that there was going to be some more money going into people's bank accounts to help with the winter of fuel. So he's going to be adding extra cash in their bank accounts. But it does seem to be quite focused on the lower earners of income. He's continues about universal credit. He talked about helping lower earners with living wage. But generally, people are still concerned. There was talk right at the beginning of that grains are moving now throughout exports, so we should be seeing a lower dividend on costs of food. So hopefully the shelves will fill up again, but it is up to businesses to pass that cost saving down. Right. And that isn't reliant on the government. The government can put freezes wherever it wants to, but ultimately it is working on a lot of people coming together and helping the UK people.
Absolutely, indeed. That's very interesting as to how all of this, of course, plays out. Thank you very much indeed, Alex Izat, for joining us and getting us all of those insights. And just as Jeremy Hunt presented his autumn budget statement, the British markets have not reacted that badly. The FTSE is down by about 37 points. It, of course, remains to be seen as to how all of this, of course, plays out in the course of the next 3-4 weeks. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.